Hello there. I'm really keen on continuing the Strife and Grimbone walkthrough of creating a Foundry VTT module for Pathfinder 2nd edition. I'm keen to get this going, get into the meat of the adventure, and so let's go ahead. One point from last time, you can see here there's an ugly black mark when we're looking at the cemetery. This is because we'd set darkness to 100% so that when we're inside the mausoleum it looks appropriately dark. However, when you move your mouse away and it's to be looking at the roof's tiles, we still have the black mark there. This isn't going to be so bad for the players unless they actually jump onto the roof, because of the walls. They're only going to see the margin of the walls there, not the blackness within. But if on the chance that they do climb onto the walls, the only way I can see around it is to go into the region controls, click the settings, behaviors, and then disable the behavior. Then we'll have the go back into the tokens controls. We're back to normal behavior then. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a way at this time for setting regions according to height maps. So we'll just, because the PCs are much more likely to be in the mausoleum rather than on top of it, I'll default it to be enabled again. Okay, that's that. So where had we got to? We had created the cemetery and the mausoleum. We had described what happens when the PCs emerge through the bottom of the sarcophagus from the secret tunnel, and some background on what happened to Arca. So continuing that theme, we need to create the token, the actor for the vampire spawn Arca. So we'll go for vampire, and we want the stats for that vampire rogue. Not mastermind. Servitor. That's looking right. Maybe this is the remaster version. I prefer the name Servitor. In any event, I think he's got the stats we want. And we'll name him Arca, and we'll give him a picture. As usual, it's some tokens. Arca vampire. So we had the Arca zombie, the fake Arca, in the bed in his guest quarters, or in the guest quarters of the townhouse, in his quarters, the town hall. This is the Arca vampire. Far more dangerous looking. Let's check, there's nothing crazy about his stats in the remaster. Grab creature, you can drink their blood. I've got a grab. That seems entirely reasonable. Creature level 4 is not excessive for characters who are level 3 by this time. And we'll set a token. Oh, we need tokenizer. So let's change the frame to something much more vampiric. That's more appropriate, more gothic. And we'll expand that a little bit. Okay. That's his token. See what he looks like. Let's go into creatures you go. Yes. I did indeed disable the dynamic token rings being created whenever you do something in Tokenizer. And we ought to change his name for the prototype token. Okay, so we've got Arca. Come on, Arca, you know you want to get in there. Right. And then we need to have a picture for the young woman. Yeah. And we should have a little bit of combat description. Let's look at his abilities. Put it over here. Arca will attack with wild ferocity, ignoring his nearest meal for now. On a successful hit, he will attempt a grab. With the remaster, they have better rules for grabbing, so for monsters the grab requires another action, as you can see, and that's a non-multiple attack dependent athletics check, as a PC would grab. So they don't suffer the multiple attack penalty. By the same token, they need to make an attempt, so they don't get to grab impossibly hard to grab things simply because they hit. Improved grab is the same, except it's a free action. They do get automatically to maintain the grab on subsequent turns, so it's up to the PC then to escape from the grab on their turns. So once he has an opponent grabbed, he will attempt to drink blood until he regains maximum HP or until he is badly wounded. Okay. After the fight, there is nothing of value in the crypt. The original occupants of the sarcophagi were long ago animated into ghouls by the master and sent into town to cause mayhem. There was a stone door in the east wall of the crypt. No, that's not the east, that's the south wall. That can be slid open from inside and leads out into Grimbone cemetery. XP award. If the young woman survives and is led eventually to safety, award the party 30 XP each. I think we'll create a token for her so the players can see. Do we have any suitable stats of a non-combatant? Not really, no. So we'll look at one of those standard NPCs. So just do villager. Ruralak villager. That doesn't sound like a normal villager. Servant. NPC gallery, this looks good. Yes, -1 level creature. And acrobatics, fair enough. Household law, sounds like me. Cutlery and cutlery, razor shield, okay. So this will be imported. Grimbone townsfolk. I think I'm going to have to turn this into into a WebP file, so I'll just bear with me a second. Okay, I'm back through the magic of YouTube. I want a file that's got transparency. Now I'll do the tokenizer. Yeah, let's go for that non-competent default token. Let's get in the middle. Suitable Grimbone transfer. Let's get it slightly right now. Okay, we'll put her next to, put her below Arca. And so that we're ready, let's put them in the area that we want. So this is the sarcophagus. So we'll have an arca there, and the lady there. And we need to set her unconscious. We'll just give 1 hit point, say. We don't have dying, unfortunately, for NPCs. And then we'll just look at the status effects. So we want dead. Dying 1, and that's given us flat-footed, blah blah blah, unconscious, so that's good, yeah. Let's see if we just have 0 hit points. No, it just defaults to dead, so should change that to 1. Okay, no, come on. 1 hit point. That's right. So then we can nicely chart. We can put it in the inventory tracker. Not inventory tracker, combat tracker. And I'm obsessed with inventory. Put it in the inventory tracker, and then everyone can see how quickly they need to rescue her. Remember, there's a first aid to stabilize someone would work. Treating wounds would work if it brings back hit points, as was magical healing. So they have plenty of time to do it, really. And let's just clarify something here. So it gives the PCs a race against time. And we should change this to automatic XP awards. So we'll go to our trusty journal where we cut and paste. I think it was arriving in Grimbone was one. Yep. Give it a heading 3. Award the party 30. Just change that there. Oh, I've done the usual mistake. Don't copy that, copy this one. Party 30. Reaching Grimbone, no, for no reason. Okay. What's next? And then we should really have a clarification here, I think. Oh, you can do it here. If the pieces enter the crypt from the cemetery, read the following. You enter a dark crypt, so they might have explored the cemetery and then enter the crypt that way, so they'll get the same encounter, but it will be slightly different. You enter a dark crypt full of cobwebs coming in through here, full of cobwebs and decay, yet somehow tense with present danger. There were 2 sarcophagi in the chamber, one of whose lids had been slid open. I think we'll have them both closed. The left sarcophagus is empty. A tunnel leads downwards from its floor as described above. The right contains Arca in repose. He wakes as his lid is opened and attacks. There is the drained corpse of a woman inside the sarcophagus with him. This is the same woman whom the PCs might have rescued if they had encountered Arca in town and pursued him. If proper rites are not conducted to put her to rest properly, she will rise as a vampire thrall the following night with the same stats of Arca. Alternatively, if the GM wants a tougher encounter, she can be in the sarcophagus next to Arca, already a vampire thrall with the same stats as Arca. So if you think the PCs can manage 2 4th level opponents, so if they were 3rd level, that sounds wrong, that's going to be a severe encounter. If they're 4th level, which they probably wouldn't be, it would be a moderate encounter. If they're 2nd level, I think it'd be too difficult. It would be a extreme encounter. So we'll do her stats for a vampire form. Duplicate Arca. Female vampire servitor. There she is. Token, no, tokenizer first. Vampire frame. Okay, that's that. And I think that's the end of the mausoleum description. And a page, and then we want to describe the cemetery. So the players could be coming here either from the tunnel or the tunnel and crypt, or from the gate from the town. This cemetery can only be a few years old, because Grimbone is only a few years old, but perhaps because of the ill-fitting masonry blocks used in constructing the low walls and small crypts. It already looks forlorn and neglected. The forest of ashwood looms in over the broken walls on all sides, and weeds and small saplings have already taken root within its confines, as if the forest is fighting back against the hubris of civilization, daring to claim a part of the forest for its own dead. The sky is overcast, and a chill rain begins to fall, only worsening the dismal atmosphere of this place of sadness and loss. So we got some weather effects there. Let's do weather. So there are some modules that give different effects, but if we stick with the principle of using what's standard, we can right-click cemetery, configure, go to ambience, and weather effects, rain. You can see we could have had autumn leaves for some of the forest encounters. This produces a rain. So some of us prefer rain to be, because it's a top-down view, some of us prefer the rain top-down with little puddles, but this will do. The standard Foundry VTT doesn't have that one, but if you prefer the other one, FX, I think it's there's a module that does it. But it's a bit quiet, this rain, isn't it? Silent rain. So let's get some sound. So that was the nighttime sound. So next to this one, in fact, let's just duplicate it. And we'll have some rain. So we can hear it. So some rain comes down, just adding to the dismal atmosphere. And if you don't want the rain, turn it off like that, right click it, and then disable the weather effect again. It almost makes me feel chilly hearing it. What's next? I think we're going to get annoyed by that sound. We'll disable it. Perhaps wisely, the folk of Grimbone have left the dead. I'll do a bit of background. The folk of Grimbone have left the dead to fend for themselves outside the town limits. No one guards the cemetery, especially since the night of terror, and certainly no one would dare visit it after dark. And then we have this as a heading. If the PCs first enter the cemetery from the tunnel and crypt, add the following. You see through a narrow open gateway in the wall that a small trail leads south towards Grimbone. The town's palisade wall is visible through the trees not far away. But if they've not yet faced and defeated Arca, we'll see 3 mausoleums. In addition to a large number of standard graves. All 3 are sealed shut. 4's open, we've got a hard DC there. Hardness 14. Hit point 56, break threshold 28. The seals act as simple locks requiring 3 successful DC 20 thievery checks. The east crypt contains, no, it's the center crypt. Center mausoleum contains Arca G17, and I think we'll do a label for this. GMs might discovery of Arca before the PCs are ready, or to prevent them from missing out on the vampire chase by changing the crypt seals to a higher DC if these are not high enough. In the southeast area of the cemetery is a hole in the ground filled with bits of masonry. Weeds grow over the stones. Let's change, give a bit more specific title, that one. Oh, let's change the name to something better. In the southeast area of the cemetery is a hole in the ground filled with bits of masonry. Weeds grow over the stones. It is as if some time ago the ground simply swallowed up a small building that once stood here. This was the church that the Master destroyed after he first arose from his aeons long slumber. spending time in the cemetery. If PCs spend more than 10 minutes in the cemetery, for example trying to take limitless time on thievery checks on the locks, or attempting to break down a mausoleum door, a host of zombies rise from the surrounding graves to attack and teach them for resting in the cemetery of all places. A host of zombies. A host is 5. We need some zombies. Do we already have zombies? No, it was all in my head. There are no zombies. Zombie Shambler, I think, is the kind of zombie I'm after. No, it's Zombie Shambler. There we are. The basic zombie. And have a bit more of an individualized picture for this one, rather than standard female half-orc zombie. Did I call it grave zombie? Yes, I did. That's a nice picture. Well, in a way. And I'll give him a kind of a to frame like that. Nice. And we'll just check what the token looks like. Yep, already got the slowed condition, which is nice. Times 5. Okay. After each further minute, 5 more zombie shamblers rise up until the PCs get the message to leave, at which point the zombies crawl back into their graves. And then there's another if Arca has been defeated. After defeating Arca, just as the PCs are about to leave along the path or back through the mausoleum and into the tunnel, they receive a special visitor. A dark cloud of vapour seems to descend out of the heavy clouds towards you, and coalesces into the shape of a pale humanoid form, wearing black robes of ancient design. Before you know it, the figure is speaking in your mind, his red eyes glowing with mesmeric intensity. "Greetings, fresh young folk. Congratulations on defeating my minions. You may call me the Master, but who I am is irrelevant to you, save for the knowledge I convey. You wish to learn of the nobody behind the so-called devil attacks, and save this collection of hovels? Then you must find where he cowers. Seek Lasala's remnants, her pitiful ruins. Destroy them and all her cultist servants for all I care. There you must find the mask that sees. It will lift the veil and reveal the nobody's hiding place. Do not seek to challenge me, for I will destroy you for your arrogance, and your town will be lost forever." With that, the figure dissolves into mist again, and is carried up into the air on an unnatural wind, his whispered voice still slithering through your mind like a half-remembered nightmare. If the PCs are keen on interrupting the above descriptive text and launching an attack, let them do so, but the Master is unperturbed. He simply turns into mist and laughs at them, while the message continues in their minds. And if they're desperate to do so, later on we'll do the stats for the Master and a token for him. In the meantime, let's just have a nice picture of him. The Master there. Okay. And at this point, I'm just thinking if I should change the format, but I won't. So we'll give the PCs an XP award for finding out a lot more about the fact that there's more doubt cast on the fact that these are devil attacks, and there seems to be some nobody behind it. And who is this Master who seems to be helping them, but obviously for his own wicked ends? So we just had a story XP award, didn't we, in the mausoleum? Get the formatting right. How does that look? Not good. There's a formatting issue. Let's have a look at the other one more carefully. italicized one there. Still not right. Right, I'm going to pause it. Okay, I've done it now. I just copied and pasted it again and replaced the text more carefully. Back to a moderate accomplishment, we click it. Accomplishment moderate defaults to 80. That's that. And I think that'll do with the cemetary. Our next heading will be the cultist ruins. Journey. Oh dear. Singular. Okay, the town will be saddened but not surprised to hear the news of what happened to Arca. Brigger the soothsayer in the town keep has some useful information for the PCs. It prompted Vatlasala and cultist ruins from the conversation with the master. She imparts some of the relevant history background described at the start of the adventure. Furthermore, she explains that years ago, when she arrived with the first settlers and was somewhat more adventurous and inclined to explore the Ashwood, she discovered a small, half-buried, ancient-looking stone on which was carved a rune. Her magics told her that the rune stood for ancient knowledge, or was the key to unlocking some ancient knowledge. Somehow she knew it would prove important in the future, so she kept it safe. Since Lysala was said to be a rune goddess of the ancient Thessalonians, now seems to be that time, and she gives the stone to the PCs. As to where the ruins might be, there are small ancient Thessalonian ruins dotted around everywhere in the Ashwood, which to choose. But then Uman pipes up. He relates the tale of a woodsman last year who was attacked near some ruins by a small creature that was all flying head and no body. He barely survived to tell the tale. If any evil behind the devil attacks, I got it recently. Who was attacked near some ruins by a small creature that was all flying head and no body. He barely survived to tell the... Oh, that should be last year. It's a different woodsman. He barely survived to tell. If any evil behind the devil attacks was lurking in some ancient ruin, that one might best fit the description. The PCs are provided with directions to the site 5 miles southeast of Grimbone. So we can add in a link here. And then we'll have an alternative. If the PCs do not speak with Brigger, have the rune stone mysteriously one morning in the PC's private chambers. Is the smell of a freshly dug grave about the room that was not there the night before, so they've been visited by the master. As to where the ruins might be, yeah, and hopefully they'll get some clues somehow. The PCs would be 3rd level at this point. If not, some townsfolk might remind them of certain quests that remain outstanding before they go off looking for cultist ruins, probably never to return. When travelling through the Ashwood Forest, continue using the random encounters listed in Chapter 2 if desired, another way to get them up to 3rd level. It may take a little while to find the mile-wide hex containing the cultist ruins from Umans or the old sage's vague directions, if perhaps the PCs had asked him instead. In each hex, make a secret DC 20 survival check. Alright, we have a heading here. Check for each PC in the group for each hour searching to find landmarks that guide them to the entrance. After each consecutive hour in a hex, lower the DC by 1. Of course, if they are in the wrong hex, they will have no chance, and after several hours of fruitless searching, they will sooner or later realise this. But they know it should be 5 miles, 5 hexes southeast of Grimbone. So we'll look at the Ashwood map again. So we'll place it there, and we'll have a label. Then we'll change it in a minute. J. J. We're going to change the link when we actually create the link. And now we're going to do the cultist crypts themselves. Cultist crypt. I think we should go plural. Gone back to plural. Because there's more than one crypt. Cultist ruins. Not very consistent, am I? Got to be consistent because readers may get completely confused and think there's two different places. So yeah, that's southeast in hex language. In real language it might be about there, but anyway, never mind. By hex reckoning. So what's next? Yeah, journal. Chapter 4. Cultist script encounters, and this is where we can start our numbering system. We can even give it a J to signify that. We'll add a page and J1, maybe not do that, entrance. One entrance. When the PCs have found the entrance, read the following. Landmarks lead you to the likely site of the cultist script entrance. Set in a squat mound of earth and rock is a wide 10-foot square. Actually, set in the side of a cliff. Side of a steep north cliff. Is a wide 10-foot square, slightly sloping stone face, irregular, clearly man-made proportions, though incredibly old and pitted. There is a small crack running diagonally across its length. Before you have time to debate how closely you are going to peer inside through the crack, you almost trip over a body lying face down and motionless at the base of the slab. And I think now's the point where we need to do the cultist crypt scene. But now we've got this done. Cultist script encounters. May as well start with the entrance. So it's now going to link properly. And obviously when you get to here, or go into the tiles and make it visible so they can see they can see it's obscured by the J. Maybe we could put it below, couldn't we? Let's put these below as well. But we'll put it back on obscured for now. Okay, right, to up to 4. Cultist crypts. We're not going to say upper level in case the PCs realise there's 2 levels. And go into our scenes. Foreground is usual 10. Grid, I'm pretty sure it's a 150, not 200 for the size of it. No padding. There we are. And we now need to do the tiles. Foreground. First of all, I'm going to put trees on. There. Did that come on? Don't think it did. No, drag it again. I think that worked. Yep. So we decided to have for these a radial thing, maybe 50%. Have it like that. So you can see it, and but characters, if you're not clicking on it, see it's much darker. And then the walls. I tend to like to close it and reopen it. It was probably next to there. There it is there. This should just snap on. Select this one. None. So while she's seeing herself through there, once it gets to the walls and the thing, more severely occluded. Now I will set the walls here. Now, don't want that. I want it on the outer edge of the actual wall. silence denotes concentration. We do it on the outer edge of the walls, remember, to give the players a view of the wall. Okay. And there's probably more to do here, isn't there? I think these are different heights. Get in a bit closer. That's lower than that one, isn't it? That one's too high. Perhaps they're being slightly obsessive there. So there's that bit. And then this one. And down here. Not necessary, is it? Okay, that's how to do the walls there. And then we have the terrain ones here. Partly to stop the PC just moving the tokens up cliffs, and partly to give a more realistic level of obscurement. What am I going to do about this? Extend this one up to there. That can connect to there. See, it sticks out there a lot more. And then we'll do the same for here. Oh dear. Can't select it when it's outside the area. And then down straight here. I think that's done now. I think the symmetrical will bring it in a bit. Okay, good. Now we'll do the doors. And locked. And it would be stone. And this is a secret door here. Which will be standard stone. And there's a secret door here. Standard stone. And that's it for the doors. I'm wondering about having the terrain things there. I think I'll just leave it. I think it creates too many awkward shadows. This can be extended up. Yeah, we'll just say that they're quite high up, these little alcoves with for the bodies, but otherwise the shadows are going to get ridiculous. Okay, but we're still outside, so I think we'll do this encounter and then finish at that point. Oh, we've got some more things to do. Light and dark. So we'll have an override. Create a polygon region. So I'm pressing Control. And we want to call it darkness. And our behavior is to adjust darkness level. And we want it to override to pitch black. So outside it's going to follow day-night rules. We'll check on that. Yep, because our default is synchronized with world time, but inside it's going to be dark apart from that little shadowy bit near the entrance, lighter bit near the very entrance. Okay, I think we're going to need some GM vision now. So we want a bit of forest scenery. So we have it continuing to rain. Yeah. So we'll set configure ambiance and the weather effect to rain, but we don't want it to rain indoors, so we go to here and select our region, add another behavior, suppress weather. And now the rain is only outside, sort of raining a bit in the entrance there. So that's how we suppress weather region by region. I think I should do that in the cemetery to avoid the cultist crypt as well. Should we do that while we're at it? So we'll view that scene. So here, do you see the darker patch there? As I said before, we can deactivate it if we don't want that, but the darker patch will also serve to get rid of the rain, which we can see there inappropriately. Edit it, add a behavior, suppress the weather, done. And then we would suppress both. If we were somehow on top of the mausoleum, we would, instead of inside it, we would suppress both the weather suppression, or turn off the weather suppression and turn off the darkness override. There we go, back to our cultist crypts. Any lights? We've got some lights there, dim lights. And I think that's the only lighting in this crypt. Some sounds. We'll have the rain outside. I think we'll have it constrained by walls, even though you might get caught behind a tree trunk. We can deal with that. So set the rain. While we're at it, we should do some tree trunks, shouldn't we? Nope. And we'll select those. And sound restriction none. So we set them so they wouldn't restrict sound. Now inside the crypt. So that will nicely cover the correct area. Check what it sounds like. That's creepy sound, we'll make it a bit quieter. And so maybe see if we have a windy area there. I think we will have volume easing for that one. Do a wind gust. Just try cave. Yeah, that'll be good. So we've done our area, and I think we'll save the encounter there till next time.